What's up, peoples? Welcome back to See These CDs, where in each one of these videos I try to take a closer look at a select CD from my own personal collection and just take a deeper dive into the overall cover artwork, graphic design, and packaging for the CD. If you haven't already figured it out, today we're going to be talking about the 1995 CD, Infamous, which is by the infamous Mobb Deep. Which, if you're not, familiar with them, is composed of Havoc, which is, more forefront in the cover, and Prodigy, which is, more toward the background, looking over Havoc, as you can see. The CD is a little bit longer than an hour, at 66 minutes and 51 seconds. It was released under Loud, BMG, and RCA Records. As far as the art direction, that's credited to Merge One, which I know I've had my complaints about, these various artists' stage names in the past, but it was pretty easy to find, information on Merge One. It wasn't too difficult. I found, a few other projects that he's done, art direction for. It would seem it's more like, like more underground acts, or just people I'm not super familiar with. He did several, artistic work with Mobb Deep. I seen I don't know if it was for singles, but I seen Shook One's Part 2 up there that he assisted them with, and a few other projects. He's also worked with the likes of I guess the artist's name is Cellar Dweller, which I never heard of Cellar Dweller before, but I think his name is pretty dope. And the projects that he's worked on with Cellar Dweller is Land of the Lost, Realms in Reality, Good Dwellers, I'm sorry. And he's also worked with artists by the name of Black Moon on his projects Enter the Stage, Buck 'Em Down, and there was one, and then there was also Mad Lion, which he worked on, he helped him with his project Rail Ting. And then I was about to say, there was one act that I did actually recognize on there, and it was Funk Master Flex and the Ghetto Celebs, which I'm not familiar with the Ghetto Celebs. I'm assuming it's just a random compilation, just artists that Flex was able to get to feature on his CD. But he assisted him with the art direction and design, and that was on Flex's project, which was titled Nothing But Flavor. Yeah, Nothing But Flavor, right? Nothing But Flavor. Yeah, Nothing But Flavor. So yeah, he helped Flex out with his project, Nothing But Flavor, as far as the art direction goes, art direction and design. As far as the other artist that was attributed or credited for this CD, is a photographer by the name of Shy Modu, which you can definitely find more information on Shy Modu if you want to look into his work, based on from what we're gonna see in the CD. Shy Modu, Shy is spelled like the abbreviation Chicago, and Modu is Modu. And Shy Modu, I'm assuming he must have been in the game for a minute, because if he's credited on such an infamous, I just didn't want to use the title to describe the project, but I would say such a critically acclaimed project, and probably arguably one of the foundations or building blocks of rap music, and could be considered or golden era rap music, I guess. I'm pretty sure he's worked with a lot of the early acts, because when I was checking out his work, just on Shy Modu's website, I seen pictures of Pac from early mid 90s, B.I.G., Q-Tip, Snoop Dogg. Those pictures were just peppered in with other pictures from international settings, third world countries, and more so focused on just it would seem these tight knit communities, that it seemed a lot of his pictures were just trying to capture the pedestrians or the citizens of that community, in their everyday happenings. But it's kind of he caught them in just a interesting time, But yeah, I thought his pictures were pretty dope. I hope I described it well, but definitely check him out. He's got some very good work, as you're gonna see in the project. But you can definitely see his work online. He's got plenty of it. And like I said, his name is Shy, CHI, and then MODU. And Merge One, if you want to look into his work as well, it was MERGE, how you spell merge, and then it's number one. Not the number one, but actually spelled out one, but one. So yeah, All right, so yeah, one of the first things, to be honest, that I noticed about this cover, which it is a pretty dope cover. I don't know if it's, I say it's a dope cover because it's really like the center shot of Havoc and Prodigy. Like I said before, like Prodigy is a little bit out of focus. It's not too much out of focus where you can't see like the details or his facial expression or anything like that. Like you can clearly see him. It's just some of his some of his features are a little bit distorted, and then you get a much more crisp photo of Havoc. And I don't know, it's just I like the contrast between the two, just the way that they're looking at the camera. Like it doesn't really, I don't know, I don't know. It's just I just like it, like I don't want to. Like the way that they're looking at the camera, they have like a very like confident feeling, but it's like I don't want to say that like looking at this CD, it definitely like it doesn't give me like any type of like wave of emotions or anything like that. I just think it's just right, you know what I mean? Like it's like just enough, and I really admire art that's just enough. Like it doesn't go too far over. It's not like too crazy. Like I'm not saying that some things are like overproduced, and I'm not saying all things that are overproduced are bad. A lot of beats today are overproduced, but they're not bad beats or anything like that. They just have a lot of moving parts to them. They're much more complex than I think beats have traditionally been. And it isn't to say that no CDs from this era have had more to their like artwork or cover or anything like that, but this is just, I don't know, it's just very, I would say, appropriate. I guess that's the correct word. But yeah, they're looking into the camera, the viewer or the fan, the consumer of the music. I was gonna say one thing that I initially, immediately noticed was in the top left-hand corner how we have like it almost looks like a chalkboard, but instead of like black chalk or like a black chalkboard, it's actually like a darker blue, and then we have like the orange text, the infamous with the ellipsis, and then Mobb Deep in like much bolder text, which is the name of the group, just underneath the title. So what I was gonna say about that is that I more so noticed like the colors, with it being orange and blue. Like I don't know if it's just because like the NBA season just ended, so maybe I'm a Celtics fan, but maybe like the Knicks are on my mind, or just the color palettes of like the various teams in my mind. I'm like, all right, I see them colors. I always think Knicks colors when I see those colors. But then I know aside from that, I think the Mets have the same colors as well. So. And these, they are both, rappers who originate from New York. So it's just, I don't know if I'm incorrectly making that correlation. I don't even know if they had any influence on that, or if the, photographer or whoever was like, editing the photo, had any, thought about that, or they decided to do that. But yeah, other than that, along or just underneath the collar of Prodigy's t-shirt, we do have another photo of the duo, with some of their crew in the background. You're going to see a blown up photo of that. I'll get a closer shot. And then something you don't always traditionally see, because I feel like this this label is off to the left or the right, traditionally the right hand side, from majority of the CDs we've looked at, but we have the parental advisory label in the center of the CD, which I admire this as well, only because like it does seem like they struggle somewhat to find a place for it, but it does seem to be a very appropriate spot that doesn't like take away from all the other visuals. This isn't like a collage. We have like one picture like here with this the title of the group and the CD. We have another picture here with these two, and then this may also be a different picture right here behind Prodigy's Air, and then another picture right here. So they really work to fit a lot of different images into this this cover, and I don't know, I just appreciate it. Maybe I'm looking a little bit too much into it, or I don't know, diving too deep. But I mean, I guess this is the point of the video. See these CDs. So all right, so we spent enough time on the front cover. The binder, we'll go through that pretty quick. Just plain black. That's just because like I'm assuming the back, once we pop the CD off, it's probably gonna resemble that black as well. Usually that's what you see. I don't know if that's a stamp of like the older CDs that were produced, but I have noticed that I see that a lot more in older CDs for the most part. And then the binding, we just have Mobb Deep, and then / the infamous, which is the title of the project. We have those numbers in the very top left hand side, and then just above that it's RCA, so the logo with some other numbers we don't have any understanding of what they mean up there as well. I'm not going to struggle to get a better shot. It's kind of silly. And then inverted, same thing on the other binder. Now, see on the back cover, like I said, that photo is right here. Once again, we have Havoc in the forefront. Prodigy, sitting in the background, is blown up and it's used for the back of the CD, which is pretty dope. Like I said, I appreciate that. First, the cover is just so much included in there. So in the top left-hand corner, in orange, we just have each one of the tracks listed in like an orangish hue. That's either the building or the sky that day. It looks a little bit dreary, so it's kind of like a white color. Makes for a good white background. And then you got all their boys, like I said, posted up. This looks like a rooftop actually. Most likely it is. And got all their boys posted up behind them. We have Prodigy standing right there with the bandana on, fists ready, but looks like he's more so aiming as if he's holding guns. And then we have Havoc, right here chilling in the Timbs, and looks like a varsity jacket. But, both of them just trying to look hard or looking hard, however you want to perceive that. And then, continuing with that orange text, we have, executive producers, Mobb Deep, Matt Leif, and is that Scooter Free? Oh, Scott Free. I thought it said Scooter Braun for a second. Then we have other contributors to the visuals and the overall project in general, as well as the Loud logo, BMG, and RCA logo right there. Other text for legalities at the very bottom of the picture, as well as the barcode in the lower right hand corner. If we want to go ahead and open the CD up, or the case rather, once again we have the same image on the back of the booklet, which it's understandable considering the front of the booklet is the cover and that slides out, and then if we think about the back, the back cover, so it folds. So I don't know, it makes sense in my mind. You can comment below if you don't think it makes sense. But once again, on the CD cover itself, or the artwork used for the CD, it's in that orange and blue hue. Makes me think of the Knicks, like I was saying before. I don't know if this is once again because they are from New York, but we have a picture of Mobb Deep with the people once again. It looks like this time they're on the subway, and the photo has just been tinted in like I said, that orange and blue hue with white text going over it. So at the very top, it once again says the infamous. And then below that, we have a lot bolder text, Mobb Deep. On the left hand side, there's the Loud logo, as well as adjacent to that is the RCA logo on the opposite end. And then below that, we have the compact disc logo. Below RCA logo is BMG. And at the very bottom of the CD, once again, still in white text, we have each one of the tracks listed. Once again, if we just want to pop that CD off there, let's get a closer look. Also give you a good look at the back of the CD. Like that. Go shine in the light. Take a look at the back. Basic, pretty simple. Nothing out of the ordinary, like what we usually see in back CDs. We do see a little bit of the graphic, in the inner ring, that we can see it's transparent from this end. Just gonna set that down, and the back of the CD is just that plain black background. Nothing crazy to it. Nothing wrong with that. The booklet isn't a traditional booklet. It's more of one of those fold outs. So I'm just gonna I'll open it up so you guys get an understanding of how it folds. So we have the front cover right there. The front cover opens up, and there's another fold, and then it separates, and it comes out like that. So, if we want to take a look at the first page, so everything is in black and white, and it would appear that, once again, we have photography from, the grouping in the subway, to, start the booklet off in the top left-hand corner of the first page right there. Below that, we begin with the first track title, and then it, gives you, the track credits and, a lot less, bold, typography right below that. That's essentially the format of the the booklet itself. If we want to continue on, I'll just keep panning over so you guys get an understanding of all this stuff. More photos of Mobb Deep. I believe that's the photo from the cover of the CD right there on what would be the third page. And at the very end, we just have, once again, more credits for, everybody who was involved, or, a large portion of people who are involved with the visuals, the music, and everything else, that comprises the CD. So, I want to say that, across each one of these, panels of the inner of the booklet, I don't know if it's, one cohesive photo. Actually, I think it is one cohesive photo, but, I think it's just, zoomed in. So maybe one of the photos we saw earlier and it's just zoomed in their feet. I'm really getting that inclination, or what really gives me that inclination is this dude's shoes right here. And now that I'm thinking about it, this is most likely Havoc's shoes right here. So it's probably the picture from the back of the cover, which we can take another look at. We're going back there anyways. But we already saw the front. I just want to give you guys a look at the back of the panel. So yeah, I'm pretty sure this is the photo. That's behind the credits and of each one of the track titles, things like that. Other than the front cover and the back of the CD picture, they use the back of this panel to give their thank yous. So we have Prodigy at the very top, and then Havoc right below, which is pretty dope. The background once again is like another picture. It's just they put some type of like filter over it. So it's easier to like read the black text that it's over it. It doesn't interfere with any of the portion of the photo, any portion of the photo I should say. Prodigy's thanks is Prodigy and Havoc's thanks are both written in like purple text. And yeah, I'll just get a still shot so you guys can read that. And yeah, so I think that's about it for this CD. That's been the infamous Mobb Deep's I always get messed up when I say that because their project is infamous, or their CD's title is infamous. But yeah, this is their debut CD, I believe. So if you're not familiar with Mobb Deep's work, definitely go check them out. They're both pretty incredible artists. They linked up with my favorite producer of all time. We covered one of his other CDs, his solo CDs that he came out more recently, Russian Roulette, The Alchemist. He linked up with them, and he was a producer that they primarily worked with. Havoc, the rapper or the person who's more closer to the front of the cover. He's also a producer, and he makes some pretty dope beats as well. So definitely check out their work. They're iconic. They're definitely like a foundation, like cinder block and rap music, hip hop. So yeah, check them out on your own accord. Other than that, I hope you enjoyed as we've taken a closer look into the actual visual artwork of the CD, as we've perused Mobb Deep's infamous CD. So yeah, this has been SeeTheseCDs. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Continue to check us out, like, comment, subscribe. Any engagement is a plus. Appreciate it. And all right, people, peace. I'm out.